Hi, my name is Alexis Cameron, and the title of my study is the role of vocational calling in mitigating burnout and stress among educators. So, the rationale behind my study is that the literature review highlights the complex relationship between vocational calling, burnout, and stress. While vocational calling is associated with greater job satisfaction, engagement, and professional identity, it can also contribute to burnout, particularly in high stress environments with inadequate support. Mentorship and organizational support are identified in the literature review as crucial moderating factors in managing burnout and stress among professionals with a strong sense of calling. The literature review also included different theories, such as the Bandura social cognitive theory, that focuses on the concept of self efficacy, which impacts an individual's motivation, persistence, and goal achievement. It speaks about career construction theory and personal environment fit theory that are used to explore career adaptability, self esteem, and the individual's fit within their work environment. Previous research has established that vocational calling is linked to increased job satisfaction and engagement, but also presents challenges related to stress and burnout, particularly when organizational support is lacking. Mentorship and career adaptability have been identified as important factors in mitigating these negative effects, highlighting the need for further exploration of how these elements interact with vocational calling. So the statement of the problem to be addressed in my dissertation is the negative effects of vocational calling on burnout and stress particularly among educators and leaders who feel a strong sense of purpose in their work, but face high stress environments with limited support. This issue affects professionals who are dedicated to their careers, often leading to emotional exhaustion, job dissatisfaction, and diminished well-being. This research will address the problem by exploring the relationship between vocational calling, burnout, and stress among educators and leaders, with a focus on the moderating effects of mentorship and organizational support. The literature shaped by the study highlighting the positive aspects of vocational calling, such as job satisfaction and professional identity, while also revealing the potential negative effects, including burnout and stress. Previous research underscored the importance of support systems like mentorship in mitigating these negative effects, informing the study's focus on how these factors can help improve work-life balance and the well-being. This study will contribute to a more comprehensive understanding of vocational calling and its complexities, offering practical insights into supporting professionals in high-stress roles. The anticipated benefits to subjects include a deeper understanding of the relationship between the variables, as well as insights into how mentorship and organizational support can help alleviate these challenges. Participants will gain valuable knowledge about strategies to manage stress and maintain work-life balance, potentially improving their overall job satisfaction. The study's findings may also provide educators and leaders with practical recommendations for fostering a supportive environment. Additionally, the knowledge gained from this research will contribute to the broader field of vocational calling, offering new perspectives on how to support professionals in high-stress roles while maintaining a strong sense of purpose. For my research design overview, I plan on using the quantitative correlational causal comparative design. It is appropriate because it allows for identification and measurement of the relationships between multiple variables without the need of experimental manipulation. Similar designs have been successfully employed in studies examining work-related stress and burnout in educational settings, particularly those exploring vocational calling and professional identity. By using this methodology, the study directly addresses the problem of burnout and stress among educators who experience a strong vocational calling, aiming to uncover the underlying factors and contributing variables. This design aligns with the purpose of understanding the complex interactions between the variables, offering insights into potential solutions. I have 4 research questions that I am using to help guide my study, and they are: what was the relationship between calling, vocation, and burnout? What was the relationship between perceived stress and burnout? What was the relationship between calling a vocation and perceived stress? And what differences were observed in perceived stress and burnout when comparing calling and vocation level groups? These research questions address the problem that individuals with a strong sense of vocational calling often experience heightened stress and burnout, particularly those in unsupportive environments. We are exploring the relationships among the variables throughout the question, and they align with the study's rationale to fill this gap in understanding the negative effects of vocational calling, which has been overlooked in previous research. By exploring these relationships, the study aims to provide actionable insights for reducing stress and burnout, enhancing well-being, and fostering supportive work environments. I'm using 3 instruments for my study. The first instrument is the Calling and Vocation Questionnaire, which is a key instrument used in this study to assess individuals' sense of vocational calling, specifically how strongly they feel called to their profession. It was developed to measure the depth of an individual's perceived calling, including their commitment, purpose, and satisfaction with their work. It has been widely used in research related to career development, burnout, and work-related well-being, demonstrating its relevance in both educational and organizational settings. The instrument has strong validity and reliability in previous studies, with consistent results in measuring vocational calling across the diverse populations. It has been validated through both factor analysis and the examination of its correlation with other relevant constructs such as work engagement and job satisfaction. The next instrument that I have is the MBI, known as the Maslow Burnout Inventory. It is another instrument in the study that is being used to assess burnout levels in the participants. It measures burnout through 3 key dimensions: emotional exhaustion, depersonalization, and personal accomplishment. It has been widely used in various sectors, including education, healthcare, and social services, to examine the impact of work stressors and job demands on employees. The MBI is recognized for its strong reliability and validity, with extensive evidence supporting its ability to accurately measure burnout in both individuals and groups. Its validity has been confirmed through factor analysis and its correlation with other psychological constructs, making it a trusted tool for assessing burnout in the research settings. Next, I have the PSS, known as the Perceived Stress Scale. This is another instrument that is going to be used in my study to measure the level of stress experienced by the participants. This instrument is designed to assess how unpredictable, uncontrollable, and overloaded individuals perceive their lives to be over the past month. It consists of a series of questions that gauge the frequency of stress-related thoughts and feelings. It has been widely utilized across diverse populations, including employees, students, healthcare workers, to understand the psychological and emotional impacts of stress. It has demonstrated strong reliability and validity, with numerous studies confirming its ability to accurately assess perceived stress and its correlation with health outcomes, making it a reliable tool for examining stress in research. Lastly, I'll be using demographic questions to help gather essential background information about participants, such as age, gender, years of experience, educational level, and other relevant characteristics. This is used to collect data that could potentially influence participants' experiences of vocational calling, stress, and burnout. The participants for this study will be drawn from professionals in education and leadership roles. They'll be recruited through targeted research, through teacher platforms, on social media, LinkedIn sites. The selection criteria include individuals with varying levels of perceived stress and burnout, as well as diverse levels of calling and vocation, to provide a comprehensive perspective. The group sizes will be determined to meet the requirements for statistical power in the chosen quantitative correlational design, ensuring reliability and meaningful data analysis. For my informed consent form, I have a section for the purpose, which is explaining to the participant the purpose of the study. I have volunteer participation section, where I am letting the participant know that this study is voluntary. I have the explanation of procedure section. So just letting them know that I plan on this online survey that will be given to last approximately 15 minutes. And I also speak about confidentiality, giving them that confidentiality speech. We talk about discomfort and risk, and that risk from participation in this study are minimal. We talk about the expected benefits, that there are no anticipated benefits from participating in this research. We talk about the use of research data, and letting the participants know that this research will only be used for scientific and educational purposes. And we talk about the approval of research, that the project will be approved by the RB at Trevecca. And then I have the consent to participate. So this study will use a quantitative correlational causal comparison design to explore the relationships between vocational calling, perceived stress, and burnout. Data collection will occur over a 4-week period using an online survey distributed to participants via social media networks. Participants will complete a survey using the standardized instruments, the CVQ, MBI, and PSS. The survey will last approximately 15 minutes long. The study's timeline includes finalizing survey tools and IRB approval in month 1, recruitment and data collection in month 2, data analysis in month 3, and reporting findings in month 4. All procedures will be conducted remotely to ensure accessibility and convenience for participants. So for research question 1, I'm going to use the quantitative correlational design, and that will be used with the PSS scale to measure stress levels, and validated calling and vocation scale to measure participants' sense of calling. This design is appropriate because it allows for identifying the strength and direction of the relationship between those variables, aligning with correlational methodology principles. And my participants in all research questions will be 100 educators expected, ensuring that the sample size is sufficient for statistical power. Data analysis will involve the Pearson correlation to determine the strength and significance of the relationship between the variables, and this method is appropriate as it specifically measures linear relationships between continuous variables, providing clear insights into the research question. My second research question, I will be using the instrument, the MBI, to assess burnout levels and validated calling and vocation scale to measure participants' sense of calling. This design is appropriate as it examines the strength and direction of the relationships between variables without manipulating them. The study will include 100 educators as explained in the previous slide. And then the third research question, I'll be using the PSS scale and the MBI as measurement instruments. This design is appropriate because it allows for assessing the relationship between two continuous variables without experimental manipulation. And my last research questions, the participants will be grouped based on their levels of vocation and calling as determined by a validated vocational calling measure. The PSS and MBI will be used to assess the stress and burnout levels, and ANOVA will be conducted to compare stress and burnout across the groups, as is appropriate for detecting statistically significant differences between multiple variables. So my data security, I will have encrypted and stored. I will have the data encrypted and stored on password protected devices. Identifiable information will be anonymized, and after the retention period, all data will be permanently deleted. That's the same for the confidentiality and anonymity. My role is to be an objective researcher. No direct relationship with participants. The data collection will be collected anonymously via online surveys, and validated instruments helps ensure responses are driven by the research constructs rather than any influence from the researcher. Possible risk is that the participant may experience emotional discomfort and allows to skip questions or withdraw without penalty. And the study is feasible for careful planning, and secured permission. Timing aligns with the researcher's schedule and the availability of participant, ensuring sufficient time for recruitment, data collection, and analysis. Access to data is feasible, assessing platforms where numerous educators are connected to. Site permissions are not required since the study is conducted online, providing flexibility and eliminating location-based constraints. So overall, the study explores the relationships between vocational calling, PSS, and burnout, addressing a critical gap in understanding how these factors interact in workplace settings. The study's foundation is rooted in the growing need to mitigate burnout and stress while enhancing engagement through a deeper understanding of vocational calling. By exploring these relationships quantitatively, this research provides insights into factors that contribute to well-being and professional sustainability. The findings have the potential to inform interventions and organizational strategies, ensuring the importance of this study is clear in addressing workplace mental health and engagement challenging. Are there any questions?